Hey everybody, welcome back. Guys, remember, if you are new to my channel, please do not forget to like, share, and subscribe. And so for this video that I'm going to do is I want to give you a little bit of information about what you call bolt action rifle. Now, I'm going to go and do a couple more videos on the bolt action rifle, but for this video in particular, we're going to just work with a little bit of an overview of what a bolt action rifle is and a little bit of information about it. So guys, please remember to, after you watch my videos, don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and make sure to leave a comment below. Let me know what you think. And like I said, you know, I want information from everyone. So any expert out there that comes across my video and wants to feel free to share some information, please drop it below on the comment box, because my stuff is mainly for all new shooters. But I do not know it all, even though I do know a lot. I just want everyone that watches my channel to learn as much as they can while they can without having to go into their pocket and spend a lot of money. So let's go ahead and let's get going. And I want to cover a couple of little things about the firearm I want to talk about for this video in particular. So we're going to use this one. Okay. We're going to start off with this right here. Let me see if I can get a good view for you guys on the camera. Okay, so this one is one of my favorite rifles. Now, every rifle I have, I say the same thing. So this is my favorite one. The next one I pick up will be my favorite one. All of them are my favorite one. So I want to break this one down. Oh, let me move some things around here for a second. All right, so I want to break some things down, starting off with this rifle. One, bolt action is a rifle that you want to have if you're a shooter, a hunter, or a long range shooter. So the thing about bolt action is the way it's designed. Let me take the magazine out. The way it's designed is for you to go ahead. It's empty. You're going to put your magazine in. Okay. Now, even though you put a magazine in, just like every other firearm, it's still not loaded. This will be what we might call condition 3 in the military. For you to load this gun, what you're gonna do next is you're gonna unlock it, pull back on the bolt. When you pull the bolt forward, it's gonna take the round out of the magazine and feed it into the chamber. And then you lock it back down. A lot of people love this concept because of sniper movies. And let me tell you, bolt action rifles are actually very cool rifles if you like shooting, because a lot of people, instead of putting semi-automatic triggers where it's just boom, 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 a lot of people do enjoy pulling the trigger and doing this little action right here. Shoot. So a lot of people do go crazy with this. So let's go ahead and start breaking down this rifle. Okay. Right. Find a good way to hold it for the camera. Okay. So starting off right here, I'm going to call this the muzzle. Okay. Now this is actually a muzzle brake, but I want to call this the muzzle just for this video. Okay. Now the muzzle is the very end of the barrel where the bullet flies out of. Now this one is what we call a muzzle brake, because if you notice, you see right here, you have these ports, and on the other side, you have ports again. So what this does is when the bullet flies out through here, gases are going to leave this way instead of the gases shooting out with the bullet. By doing that, it reduces the recoil of the gun, meaning the kickback, okay? Mine comes from silencer coil, and I'm not sure the camera is going to pick up on it really good, but right here, mine has threads on it. That's because when I put my silencer or my suppressor on, mine is from silencer coil. It's called an Omega 3. No, mine is called a silencer coil Omega 30 cal can. You put it on, and all you do is screw it in. Okay? Now, when it comes to buying guns, I'm a firm believer that when you buy your rifles, you should always buy them new. I tend to want to stay away from buying used rifles, unless it's from a friend of mine that I really do know, and I know the rifle never took a beating. The reason why is because I want to talk about the crown, okay? So I'm sorry guys, I'm doing it like this. I'm trying to give you guys a better view, especially for all the new guys that might watch this video. Okay, I want to say that my barrel ends right here. We're going to say that it ends right here. And this is just extra to the barrel, okay? So the crown is, let's say the barrel ends right here where I'm running my finger on. The crown of the barrel is going to be the very edge of where the barrel ends. Okay, it's very important that the crown is not chipped. And a lot of times the way that crown might chip is depending on how you clean this bore. Now, if you do not know what a bore is this right here, the barrel. It's called your bore. So we'll call it barrel or bore, either or, two different names for the same thing. When I clean rifles, and I'll do a video on it in the future, I'll show you how I do it. I never run my punch rods from the barrel in. I always go from the chamber out. And I do that also to reduce any contact with the crown and chipping it away. And I'll talk more in depth about the crown in other videos, okay? But I want to keep moving on. So we covered the crown. Next thing I want to talk about is the barrel. So when it comes to these type of guns, your bolt action rifles, you're going to have many different options in barrels. I always tell people, try to stay with bull barrel, or what everyone knows as a heavy barrel. So if you look at my barrel, it's nice and thick. So my barrel is what we call a bull barrel or a heavy barrel. And I really prefer this. I'm not even worried about the difference in weight over a lightweight barrel. Now, when it comes to the barrel, it's not just bull barrel or lightweight barrel, because the barrel has so many other different things to it. Like your barrel twist, meaning the rifling inside, how spaced out it is from one another, and it's gonna have a different reading, and you match those readings with bullet weights. Also, your barrel has what's called barrel harmonics, okay? Meaning you wanna have your barrel free floating on these guns because you do not wanna have anything coming in contact with the barrel. You don't wanna disturb the barrel harmonics. Now, usually, and this is not 100% accurate, but it's like 90-some% accurate. Usually, when you talk about barrel harmonics, what I mean is, you see how I have my bipod attached to the stock? Usually people won't do stuff like this. Sometimes they go the cheaper route and they put a bipod attached to the actual barrel itself. And you just don't want to have anything on the barrel. It affects the barrel harmonics of the rifle. Okay, now I want to talk to you guys a little bit about this, which is your stock. So my stock is a Remington 700 tactical, and this stock came from Magpul. Yeah, this is the Magpul one. I'm sorry, I forgot because I have so many rifles. I tend to not remember everything about all of them. So this is the plastic stock. Now let's look back here. If you buy the ones that come from Magpul, you're gonna have extra pieces that go here and also here. And you're gonna have extra cheek rests or cheek welds that go here. And the reason why they do that is because you can unscrew this button and this one over here and this one down here. And you can take this off and take this off. And you can start switching them in and out, because you can actually take this stock in general and you can make it fit. You can actually adjust it to the length of your arms and also how you place your cheek on the stock. So if it's too high or too low. So that way your eye can be as straightforward as it can be as you look through your scope. Now, one thing a lot of people don't realize about this stock is when you look here, you see you have these cuts. So this is from the Remington model 700. Now, a lot of people call these right here M-lock, and that's the correct name. But a lot of people don't realize it. The reason why on this particular model they chose to put this type of cuts right here is also because as you're shooting, you're gonna have a lot of heat build up right inside here. And so by putting in these cuts also allow, it's gonna be on both sides, also allow the heat to exit quicker and help cool this rifle down. Now, even if it gets hot, it doesn't matter because you're not really gonna be touching this barrel. The bipod will be open. Everything will be on the ground. And you might be touching onto this or not touching onto it at all. You'll be doing what's called loading the bipod, meaning you add your weight forward, you put more pressure on the legs, and you're still stable. Your non-firing hand might be here, or it might be like I do. I take the non-firing hand and I go like this. Let me fix it for the camera. I'll take my non-firing hand and I hold it right here like this. Okay? So we talked about the stock. I want to talk to you about the caliber. So this one in particular is a 308. 308, I find it will be a very good caliber. One thing about my videos, guys, and my channel is that you're not going to hear me trash calibers in particular or firearms in particular. I like them all. But the Remington 700 is made, I think, in 22-250, 308, 300 Win Mag, 6.5 Creedmoor, I'm sorry. I think they have it made in 270 also, and 243, something like that. But I like the 308 because the 308 caliber has been designed, if I remember correctly, in the 1950s. I want to say 1954 or 1956. And today in 2020 is still used in many places in different parts throughout the world. And it's still a very good caliber to come across. And it's still a cheap caliber to buy. And it has a good killer, it has good power for killing, a good killing funnel, or a killing frontal force. And so, me personally, I'm happy with the 308, even though we have a lot of other calibers in the market. So when I use rifles for hunting, I do like the 308. Although 6.5 is a great caliber, 6.5 will work better when you have wind or fishtailing. 300 Win Mag is my favorite caliber, but I do not shoot 300 Win Mag as much because there's too much force on that chamber. It will wear out your barrel a lot faster. You can probably get like 1,700 rounds through a 300 Win Mag before that barrel has to be redone. You can get over 5,000 rounds through a 308 before the barrel has to be done. So like I said, I like them all. They all have their ups and downs. They're all great, but I'm telling you why I chose mine as 308, because so many things about that caliber in general. So I want to talk about your action. It was already in the beginning of this video. This one is your bolt action rifle. So it works like this. And that's pretty much it. Now this one is called a short action. So it's smaller here, and the short action is because of the caliber. It's a 308. If this one were to be a long action, this will be a little bit wider, and it will be a bigger caliber, like a 300 Win Mag. I want to talk about your trigger. Now, when it comes to hunting, some of the most popular triggers on the market are going to be the Timney trigger, and there's a couple of other ones. Timney, that I know of, at least in South Florida, is the most commonly known trigger for bolt action rifles. However, in today's market, the manufacturers that are making these rifles are now letting you adjust these triggers themselves. So let's come over to the camera and let's see if we can find it. Okay, you see where let me go here. See this little screw right there? A lot of times now when you buy these bolt action rifles, they're gonna have a little screw right there, and these come with an Allen key. So what you can do is you can tighten it or loosen it up, and by doing that, it's actually adjusting the tension on these triggers. I like to keep mine at 3 pounds. You can go, I think it's 2.5 pounds all the way up to 7, but I love keeping mine on 3 pounds. Okay. The last thing I did want to talk about, which I kind of skipped it, was your buttstock. So the buttstock is usually where you're going to place right here the pocket of your shoulder, meaning like this, and your cheek goes right here as such. Try not to do this because you're not going to have a good zero. See how my face is not resting on the rifle? You always want to be on it. Close your eye, relax the other eye, and you look through the scope. So, guys, this is actually a great rifle. Now, a lot of people that love bolt actions will tell you, man, I just really like it. Something about the bolt action they just find interesting. I just love the bolt action rifle because the way it's designed is that it's designed so every time you do this right here, you spit out a round and you load another round and you lock it down. The concept is that the round will be chambered exactly the same way without any little gaps where the round might move. And all of that increases the accuracy of the rifle, which is something semi-automatics do not do. And keep this into consideration, okay? Whenever you're shooting these guns, there's gonna be a lot of power here and explosions happening here. This is gonna warm up. On semi-automatics, every time you shoot, it spits out automatically and it reloads for you. On bolt actions, every time you shoot, it stays there. All you can do is unlock it, eject it, and reload another one and lock it down. So what's really good about this concept is every time you unlock it and open it, as you spit the round out, you're letting heat exit through here. You're letting this cool down. Okay, and that's gonna come into play between your 4th or 5th round. Sometimes you might find it in your 3rd round depending on the caliber. So check this out. Semi-automatics, the second it shoots, it does this on its own. Well, not this action, but it spits and it reloads on its own. What happens is, as you start forming heat here, and you keep putting a bullet in here, it starts cooking that bullet, meaning it starts creating more pressure in that chamber. So usually, when you're shooting, every time you do your 3rd or 4th round, it's gonna need the barrel with more force because it's a little bit hotter here. It's gonna cause that round to fly faster and higher, causing it to impact a little higher. So if you're shooting for precision, and you can do 3 or 4 shots here, it's normal to have them all grouped in, and then have one by itself above. Now, people that lay down chronographs and they start testing their loads, they'll pick up those readings on a chronograph. So if you guys do not know what a chronograph is, okay, let me hold the rifle right here. See where my barrel ends? Usually people that use a chronograph, they put a little stand right here in front of it, and they put another equipment right here. And as the bullet flies through that equipment, it gives you a reading, letting you know how fast was that bullet flying in feet per second. So these are just little things here and there. Anyways, guys, this is gonna be it for this video. My next few videos are going to be more on bolt action rifles. I have a buddy of mine that just bought one. He wants to mount a scope on it, so I want him to bring it to me. And I'm gonna mount the scope for him because I wanna show you guys how to go in depth into mounting scopes on rifles so you can see why I do what I do, and you can learn from me in case you're looking at buying tools or mounting your own stuff. You can always go back and use my video as a good point of reference or a good reference point or whatever you want to do with the video, so you can just retrace my steps and mount your own stuff, meaning you're not gonna have to pay nobody $50, $60, $70 or $80 to mount a scope for you, and you're gonna get really good quality education out of it. Guys, I hope you all have a good evening, and that's gonna be it for tonight.